Hello everyone, this is Travalgar Valentine. How's it going today? Today we thought I'd do another car drawing. Today's going to be a Dodge Charger. This is going to be one from the Mad Max series. So it's slightly modified, it's got these extra thick chunky tyres, and I like drawing the cars from Mad Max, as you probably already know from my previous videos and stuff. So to start with, I'm just going to do in pencil, just a rough sketch of where I want some of the pieces to go. So I'm just using a normal HB pencil for this. Okay, so this will be the front end. Then we'll come up here for the archway, for the front arch. Then it's slightly leaned up. So I'm just doing a rough shape here where I want the hood to go. And it's got an open top engine area. And just below here, it's got these small vents. And then in the center, it's got this thick, chunky chrome bit. Then it's got the headlights just here. And smaller grille piece, and just there. Then for the windscreen, it's a bit flat, so let's go like so. And it comes back down like so. And then for the front wheel, just sketched in lightly. Not going too bad with the details and stuff, just roughing where I want things to go. Then it has these big chunky rear wheels. I'll go in there like that. Okay, and then it has a large gun at the back here. Okay, so maybe I should start inking because I've got everything I want to in. Let's go into my 0.3 uni ball pen. Let's do the top engine bit first. That's quite complicated, but it's like a good fun bit to try and draw. Okay, so this is where the bonnet line is. So yes, it's just 0.3. It's not too fine, not too thick. Should be good enough just for the engine. There. Okay, so it's a square shape up. And then this comes across. These little shapes here and there. And it's got these valves at the top. So it'll be about 8 circles, I would say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll have these, so there's valves running downwards into the engine. So I'm just doing a line underneath it, just like so. There we are. And it's got these panels at the front of the engine part, so underneath it. It's not exactly perfect to the photo reference, it's quite complicated for all the little trinkets and stuff like that on the actual engine bay, but it's looking pretty awesome, so it's fine, it's good. Another line going across there. And we'll do another large cylinder at the top. Let's do the same valves on the other side. So it comes to about here. So let's just sketch it in just so we can get that correctly. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like so. Okay, so that's good for the engine top. Now let's start moving our way down the actual car. So, so this is for the front chunky bit. So let's do a straight line going across there. Like so. Then one underneath. Then this raises up a little bit in the center on the bottom section. Just can't see just a little bit as I move my camera. Ooh. Stay. Okay. Sketchpad is in the way and the camera, blah blah blah. Right. Okay, so this be right the center. I'm just gonna do another shape on the inside. Curl this in the inside. And do the same on the opposite side. Curl it down and across. Then for the headlights, it has an edge around each headlight as well. Like so. Then this bit is another box shape. Like that. And then this is the grille in the center. And this will be like a square pattern. So just do like these rectangle shapes in the center. And try not to make the edges touch. It's about 5 across, 5 blocks across. Just like so. There's an edge just underneath that. Then again, the square vent of the shape, square vents just around underneath it. Then just do a little bit of an edge on the inside of these lights. That will be in black for shading. Then just doing a few lines on the headlights, like so. Then for the second pair, because we want to see this is quite chunky, so not quite on the inside, leave a little edge there. Then do the next one, and this one will come right to the edge of the shape. And again, the square blocks for the vents. And then once I get into time lapse and stuff like that, I'll be shading this all in black, leaving a little edge at the top. I'll just show you now quickly. Just like that. Okay. Do the edge around these lights as well. A few lines here and there. Okay, now for the bottom section of it. So we'll just do a line going down here, curling across, and finishes there. And there's a light here. I'll do another one on this side. For one bit of it. And the centre section comes up, this curls round there. This is just joined up because I think this bit's broken on the actual car that I'm drawing. It's not exactly the perfect model for it. It's got a tow hook here. I'll shade this all in black so I don't need to worry about it. I'll just do a line for this edge. Okay, so that's the front all done. Let's move across. So, line it going across there and back up to join. Then for this wheel, do an archway going round. Like that. Do a little square there. Then this line for the top hood. And we'll have another one just going like that. Okay, let's move on to the windscreen. Windshield, whatever you want to call it. Just depends on where you're from. I seem to have misplaced my small ruler, so I'm just using a pencil for these straight lines, but you could use a ruler if you've got one handy. Just curl these windows at the edges a little bit. And then we'll join this up. Like so. Okay, which bit should we do next? Let's maybe do the side window. So this will come down. Move this across here. And then at the edge here, it curls up. Like so. And the door handle will come from up there. Okay, maybe let's do the front wheel. So I'm going to start off by doing the rim. Maybe I'll just do some pencil first, just getting the shape of it. So I want to come down here. This will be the inner rim. So let's do the center rim first. I'm just freehanding this. You can use a French tool, French curve, sorry, if you wanted to make it a bit more smoother curve. Now I'm going to move to a different pen. This one's acting a bit weird. Let's move to my Uniball 0.8. Oh yeah, a smoother line. There we are. Then this will be the inside of the rim. Just round like so. Then the nut in the center. Then a few going round. Then it's got these holes in these square shapes. I'm just going to do another line like so. Now because it's quite thick grip, what I'm going to do is not do a perfect circle going all the way around. I'm just going to do a line and a little dip going down. And try and keep the same on the opposite side. So for this side is curled that way and that way. And then maintain that pattern going round. Could measure these to make them absolutely accurate, but I think it's okay if I just freehand it. And then for the grip itself, we'll just do these diagonal chunks going down, and as it gets down to the bottom, get a little bit more compact, and the same on the opposite side. Like so. Okay, now do a line for the inside the rim. I've just gone over that by accident, so I can just smooth that again in pen. And there'll be a lot of shading in this as well, so I'm not too bothered if I go over the lines. Okay, so now we've done that wheel, we can move on to the side. So I'm just keeping that line the same. I want the bottom part of the body to be following this same line, and for the top, so I'm just using the front grille as a reference. So it's got this bar sticking out. Just curl out the edges. Little circle there. Then there's a support beam which I think the bar is actually held onto, like that. And then from there we can get the door filled in. So because the bodywork is not completely flat, if it was flat I could do a line going straight up, but it's not, it's slightly curled round. So I want the top of the door to be from here to here, so I'm just going to slightly curl it up. Just like that, and then mimic the same shape on this side. Curl it up. Okay. Then for the next archway, rises right up. Then for it to come back down. Then we can start on this pipe on the side. I'm just doing this because it sticks out the back a little bit, so it's good to do this bit first. And this comes further up. Just move the camera a little bit. Then for the rear section, how's this angle doing? Yep, that's good. Now we've got a massive tyre for the next back wheel. This comes quite a bit lower. So if where from this wheel is all the way around here. Can rub these pencil lines out later, so that's fine. Okay, this is going to be a slightly smaller rim than the front one, just because it's a thicker tyre. Like so. You can't see much of the inside, so I'm just going to do the squares where the holes are. And this is for the inside of the rim. And then so I need to add in the tread on the outside. So again, just doing a dash, little circle down, dash, circle. Maintain this pattern right across it to get that edge of the tread, sorry. I'll move this, keep going all the way around, try to keep the wheel even right across. That's why I've done the pencil lines first. And then similar tread, so I want these circular chunks going down there. So I'm using a pencil line just to give me where I want these treads to go to. and then the same on this side. There's going to be another tread pattern in the centre, but I'll do that in a second. So keep curling that round. As it gets to the top, because you won't see much of it, it's going to be quite a thin slither of it. Then again on the bottom, like that. And in the centre, we'll just do these square chunks. And again on the bottom part, do the thin one. And then again the triangle trunks. And then little circles for that tread edge. Little circle there. Okay, now that we've got it, now we can finish this edge of this, the rear arch. There we are. Okay, now for the rear section. This pipe I did before, it comes up the top here, so come that back down. Little shape there. So for the gun at the back, I'm not sure, it looks like I think it's a harpoon gun. I can't remember which vehicle it is, but from the Mad Max films, but okay, so I'm just going to do cross here. This is for sort of the mechanisms, another rectangle there, and it's got this bar sticking out with this rod going down there, and then this whole round, this whole cylinder there, the rectangle block, and it's got another one here, and this has got another handle to come down like so. I'll bring this gun barrel right up. Stops around about there, and it's got another extension piece like so. Okay, now let's do the roof going across. So this will just, not doing a straight line across, but I want to curl it, keep the roof curled across, and do another support bracket there for the window. So it's from there to there. Missed it just a little bit, that's okay. And this will come back down. Right. Okay, let's finish off this other wheel. So we want wheels to be on the same ground level. So the vehicle's this angle, so keep that angle going down for the next wheel. And because it finishes there on the inside, be there on that part of the bumper, and it will come round there like so. Then it'll be, how wide is this wheel? Let's have a look. So it's about that wide. So this wheel needs to be a bit wider. Okay, so similar to what I did before. Moved to my 0.3 for some reason. Where's my 0.8? Yeah. So a little dent for the tread. Maintain this across. Then the triangle trunks. There we are. Then for the inside rim, it's a little different. These holes on this wheel, as you can see there, which will be these holes there. Okay, that's roughly the whole car done. Let's just zoom out and to see what it looks like. Okay, there we are. It's looking a little flat, needs some shading definitely done onto it and a few other little knickknacks. What else can we add to it? Might add the wheel from the back wheel come from up there. A little bit on the inside, so this would be inside the other window. Let's do a little edge coming down here. Then it's got a roll cage frame that comes down. Okay, I think I'm ready for shading now, so I'm going to go in with my black pen again and just going over the bottom sections of the actual car. What I like to do is I'd like to just shade first where I want the dark areas to be, in little shapes. So I've done this weird little shape here, and then this will be filled in black. Like so. So I want the bottom section to be the darkest and the top to be the lightest. But I've also got to emphasize the darkest for the shapes and also make sure that you don't lose any of the shape of the actual vehicle itself. And also give the emphasis that it's actually a rounded shape. So I'm going to do a big black shadow going up here and come back down. That, and then there'll be another black shadow which will come down here. And it's important for these black shadows to have a good sharp point when coming around a shape. So for instance, around this wheel arch, I want this part of the shadow to be skinny, and as it comes to a larger surface area, to bring it down back to a narrow point. This bit will be all black. Inside the wheels, for example, because the light will be hitting from the top, so the top will probably be the darkest. So I'm going to do these shapes coming down, and you can see where I'm trying to emphasize the shapes by leaving white highlights here and there and having the contrast of the black next to them. So I'll probably go into time lapse just to finish this off in shading. I might move to my chunky marker and stuff and a few other things, but I'll go through it afterwards.
I'm suffocating, will I find my way out? Can't stop the bleeding, so they tore my heart out. These empty tears you cry, they won't bring me
So I've been going at this for at least another 45 minutes, just going over the shading with a mobile choice of pens. This one's a micro, so it's a graphics 0.05. For large areas I've gone over 0.3, 0.8 and stuff, so it's good just for all these little knickknacks and little details here and there. As you can see, I'm just going over all these little shapes, so this cylinder shape here, just coming across and down. And I want to give that a shadow just on that side, so I'm just following that same pattern along there. Not too much shading on here, but a bit more on this side. A lot of it is just applying a little block of shading, but then you don't realise it stands out, so then you have to shade the other sides of it to make it more stand out more. This is on a white edge here, so I want to make this bit darker to emphasize that white edge, just like so. This here is on the white edge, so emphasize this bit. Inside here is quite dark. I'll give this one more shape across there. So this is what I've been doing throughout the whole vehicle, emphasizing the whites and the darks and stuff. Because there's white lines here, I want to do all these blocks shading just across like so. These little rectangles, I want to show them the inside, so I'm just going to do a little black bit in the center, but this white line here where the bonnet is, I'm just going to do a little bit of shading at the bottom on the inside, like so. Come across here for these valves at the top. Center bit is going to be completely dark, like so. I want the top part to be less shading, but the bottom part to be more. I'm going to do a smooth shape, so I'm just going to solid block across there. Emphasize a curled shape, so like so. This barrel in the center, again, the lower portion to be darker. Emphasizing that curled shape, just coming up like so. Because this has got a white edge here, I want to make the top bit darker, so it's just light dark, light dark. When you've got sphere shapes like this, trying to make the edges a bit narrower and narrower, shadow, just to bring your eye more to the darkness. Sorry, the sketch pad's slipping all over the place. Can't really tape it down, otherwise it'll stick to the paper. So I'm just filling in all these. Inside be a little bit darker there, because I want this white bit to stick up more, so I'm going to do the shading underneath. I do a little shading on top, a little dot here and there. Although there's just little knickknacks here and there, blackness and shading. As long as it's consistent throughout the drawing, it'll look natural, and it should be actually be there. If you have just random markings here and there, that's not consistent throughout the whole drawing, it won't really fit in. It'll only fit in if it's consistent. So all these pipes I've got, I've kept the shading the same, emphasizing the edges most on the whitest bit, like so. Again, just keeping all these shapes constant by doing this blackened circle with a lip on the edge. I've gone over this a bit too much, but never mind. It's okay, it's okay. Blackness here and there. Because I want this bit to show up, I might make this bit darker. There's some vents underneath it. And I want this chrome strip to be emphasized, but not quite too dark. So a few dots going across. Maybe do some more shading on this side. So this square bit, just going to narrow it down. Because this cylinder is white, I want to make this edge a little darker by adding a little bit of shading on the end of here. Like that. Let's fill this in. Maybe a little bit of an edge just on here. Just going over some details. Like so. Okay, let's have a look at the whole picture. Zoom out. Whoop. Okay, so you can see now what I've fully all done all across it. As you can see, these are much more finer details that I've gone with the 0.05 with the wheels and stuff. Let's zoom back in just so you can see a bit better. So for the lights, I've just tried to emphasize the darkness area. So this is where the light gets narrower on this side, pulling that darkness in on this area, and then try and keep a constant shadow throughout of it. So you can see where I've kept this part of the light lighter here and here and here across the lights. I've kept that upper edge of the grille holes here just to emphasize the holes. Didn't want the whole chrome bit to be fully darkened and stuff. It is quite chunky, but the edge of it, I just wanted to show a bit more darkness, or I've done this kind of rough blocky shading across it, still emphasizing the edges though and stuff. And for the wheels, I've gone over the tread just with a bit more black around the edges, emphasize there. For the rims, I've gone round because the inside of the wheel arch was completely jet black and we won't be able to see the wheel that much. So what I've done is I've done this section of the wheel lighter, as you can see, and then because I've done it slowly getting narrower and narrower into darkness on this edge, you can just go over in a fine pen just to touch it all up, so smoothly going back into darkness. And likewise, because this is going into lightness, because this is the opposite side where it's darker on the inside, this bit's darker and going into lighter. Then the rear wheel, because I wanted to try and show it was a bit of a thick chunky tyre, so I've got this lighter edge around here where it's got the inside and it's more indented. Again, the traction shape, and you can see the shapes are getting darker and darker on the edges. So because this edge is darker, there's barely any light showing, just a few fragments to show actually there's still tread there, because there's this white bars here. So I've blackened all the edges around it to pop that white bar out. It's the same with the white highlight across here with the back wheel arches, doing all the lines around it darker just to pop that out. And I've done a few little sort of like rusty sections that I've hung down where it's gotten a bit old and tattered, but this emphasises the curled shape of the actual Dodge Challenger. And with the gun, I've come up with the highlights on the side, little white highlights on here. This section is a lot more darker than the top, but it's good to show all these different lines and stuff, emphasising all the different shapes and stuff. So I might go into colour and stuff, I'm not sure yet, but Anyway, that's my pen and ink drawing for my Dodge Charger. Hope you enjoyed this drawing and maybe apply it to your own car drawings or to your own shapes as well. Maybe give you some ideas, you never know. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back in another video quite soon.